Good morning, friends. I'm Pastor Eric, and these are your Wednesday's words. You may or may not remember this guy, Stretch Armstrong. I can't remember if I had one of these when I was a kid. Maybe I did. But I did have one as a big kid. I bought one of these to use as a sermon illustration a few years ago, and now I can't find him. He may have been lost in the move from Villa Rica to West Point at the first of the year. I don't know. Or maybe my girls are holding him hostage up in their bedroom. I'm not sure. But what I loved about Stretch Armstrong is that you can pull and pull him in so many different directions. It's not easy, but if you want to show off to your friends, it's pretty cool. If you're strong enough, you can even tie his arms and legs together in knots. But it's all about the tension. We might define the word tension as the process of being stretched or pulled, or maybe even stressed. Unless you've had your head in the sand lately, you know that right now there's a lot of tension going on in our country. And I think it's okay to name the tensions. We're still dealing with COVID-19. And of course, the social unrest surrounding the death of George Floyd and the reaction to it. I believe there is a time and a place to talk about such things that cause so much tension in our lives. But I want to talk about tension itself right now. Actual tension. When we are tense, we don't always react in the way that we normally would. When we are full of tension, whether it be things in the world around us or very close to home like our marriages or close relationships, we get all tied up in knots like Stretch Armstrong can. And sometimes our natural response is to either lash out or say or do things we know our mamas would be ashamed of. Have you ever written that harsh email or text to somebody and then at the last second said, nope, I can't send that? Or maybe you did send it. It happens, right? It does. The Apostle Paul reminds us that as Christians, we are a new creation through Christ. But at the same time, we also battle the old self. Or how about the simple idea that we know we have sinned and have been forgiven, but yet we continue to sin? You see, there is so much tension sometimes, and it's not always easy. 1 John chapter 3, verse 2 says, we are already God's children, and we can't even imagine what we will be like when Christ returns. But what we do know, that when He does, we will be like Him, for we will see Him as He really is. On that day, all tensions will cease. We will be transformed and perfected. But until then, we live in what we call the now and the not yet. And there will always be tension in that. Now, that doesn't mean that certain things in our lives and in the world should get a pass. Not at all. But what it does mean is that those tensions should lead us to focus on the hope we have in Christ. So if you're feeling a lot of tension these days, take a step back and then lean on Christ to walk you through it. Because if you try to do it on your own, the stretching and the knots will eat you up inside. Maybe on the outside too. Those are your Wednesday's words for today. I pray God's blessings upon you in the week ahead. Bye, everybody.